wonder why it is that all men are dogs, all women seem to cheat, all friends seem to be jealous of you and fake? Ever wonder why it is that some of these stereotypes and these cliches ring so true to us? The dumb jock, the dumb cheerleader. Stay tuned and I'll tell you why. Okay, so now I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, I know for sure you're not going to tell me that all men aren't cheaters because you know what? I've dated 25 men and they've all been cheaters. Or all those women that I dated, they're all man eaters, they're heartbreakers. I know all women are this, that, and the other, right? All people are just out for themselves, they're all selfish. How many people have I given so much to and all they've ever done is just take, 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 take? And yes, to a large extent, there's going to be some of the answer that says, well, you kind of attract what you're putting out in the world. So there is something to be said for the fact that if all the people around you are using, abusing, and lying to you and throwing you away like trash, that you got to change some things. Even if it's them, if that's your whole experience, it's kind of also you. But today we're not going into that. Today, I'm going to tell you a simple fact. You know, and I know, that when you make those statements, all men are dogs, and all women are liars, and all people are users, it's just not true. Okay, I know what you're saying, right? You can probably give me 10 examples, 10 examples, 10 great examples that will prove the statement that you've made right. But can I tell you that you've actually missed 500 examples of times where either those people or others were never like that? Now, I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, come on, Ruby, enough is enough, okay? Stop making excuses for these people. But I'm not. There's an actual simple explanation for why it is that we seem to think our experiences with a few people, few bad apples. How do I explain this? Well, you know what? First, let me just tell you the term, right? Okay, so the term that we're talking about today is called confirmation bias. And what is confirmation bias exactly? Our tendency for us to notice things in the environment and the world around us that support our preconceived notions, thoughts, feelings, ideas, beliefs, and to dismiss things that don't support those same notions, ideas, and beliefs. On a less turbulent front, let's think about when you get a new car. Have you ever gotten a new car and, like, for example, me, I drive a blue Civic, right? In a particular year, particular make, it looks a particular way. I'd never seen this particular color blue before in my life on a car. Never. So I was like, this is so cool. This is so original. The person who previously owned this car must have painted it this super neat, super original color, right? Yeah. About a week or so into owning it, car number 100, seeing the exact same make, model, and color of car, and I thought to myself, how is that possible? I have never seen this car before in my life. But the thing is, I had. How many cars do you see on the road every day, especially in a place where everyone's driving all the time? You're in and out of parking lots all the time. You're seeing billions of cars. There's no way that you're really and truly going to retain the make, model, and color of all of them, especially if it's not particularly actually special. Like if you saw a lime green Ferrari on what are those things called? The they put it on the cars and it makes them hydraulics. Yes, hydraulics. That was the word. But yeah, if you saw one of those, there's a good chance you'd actually remember it. Why would you remember it? Because that's actually really rare, really special, and something that you'd be like, what the hell? Because it stood out from your day. But if the year, make, and model and color of the car doesn't stand out dramatically, isn't something that's overly appealing and overly, wow, it's so special, you're likely to just dismiss it. Let's be serious. How many things do we actually see on a daily basis that we entirely dismiss if we're not trying to pay attention for it? This is the same thing now when you're talking about these experiences that we have that end up making us feel like all men are dogs, all women are liars, all people around you in your circle are users, are fake, are jealous of you. Why? Because once we have that experience once, if I'm with a guy, right, and I loved him so much, I thought we were going to get married, and then I found out he was sleeping with the entire town every time I blinked. That's a story for another day. Anyway, point is, I could, from that, kind of extrapolate, and because I'm going to go and I'm going to be upset and I'm going to cry to my friends or family, and they're going to tell me about times that the same thing happened to them, and to chin up, and I'll find someone new, and I'm going to sit there and say, see, but you've been cheated on too. They're all cheaters, they're all dogs. And then what's going to happen is, going forward, I'm going to look for stories online and on YouTube to kind of comfort me and make me not feel alone. But what ends up happening is, I will dismiss all of the lovey dovey stories, sometimes on purpose. I'll dismiss them and be like, oh, please, you just haven't gotten to the place where you found out your man's dog, right? And I'm going to end up dismissing a lot more of it, though, without even meaning to. All of those 70-year-old couples, you can see their little worn wedding bands, and they're just walking hand in hand. I'm going to dismiss all those people because right now, the way that I'm thinking, the way I'm feeling about the world is that all men are dogs, no relationships can be happy, love isn't real. And I'm going to look for evidence and remember evidence that says that. And I'm going to dismiss anything that doesn't support those thoughts and feelings. That's how we end up getting not just, harmful stereotypes like racism or sexism. This is how we get ourselves to be jaded and kind of paint slash box ourselves into a corner where we end up isolating ourselves from people and things that could make us happy because we've already decided that they're going to be a negative slash bad thing based on our previous experiences. Now, at the end of the day, I can understand why it is that we have these mechanisms. We have to categorize things around us. We have to. Back in the days, 10,000 years ago, when we developed these mechanisms, we couldn't survive without them. I mean, how are you going to walk around in the world and try to exist if every single new thing you see, you have to actively think about every time? How many times were you going to 10,000 years ago meet new people that you weren't born and raised with in your own tribe? Very few. So therefore, what you needed to categorize was friend, foe, family, not, right? Because it was really that simple back then. There's a good chance if you saw a face that wasn't familiar, it wasn't there to be your friend. This is also why it is that we are so good at picking up on negative emotions in other people's faces. We're way better at picking up on those, and we are really quick at picking up on them. Why? Even if we're not paying attention, if someone shows an ounce of disgust, micro expression, really quickly, we got to know that that might signal danger for us, right? So all of these things have kind of evolved in our brains, and now in this world that we live in 10,000 years later, okay, some of them, there might not be 100% as useful globally as they were. And that doesn't mean that they can't be helpful. It just means that we have to recognize when it is that we are really and truly categorizing people and situations and things based on what they actually are. And when it is that we are overgeneralizing to protect ourselves from possible future hurt or harm that may or may not exist. Once you've gotten over a grieving period for a betrayal from a significant other or a friend or even a family member, it's time to move on in life. How do you do that? How do you protect yourself and use these lessons in these categories more efficiently to protect yourself without totally blocking out possible positive connections in the future? Well, I will cover that in another video, but for now, y'all, I'm just going to say, if you liked what you have seen today, Please let me know by commenting below. Let me know times that you have seen confirmation show its scary little head in your own life. Let me know what you think in general about the Psych 101 stuff. Do you like it? Yay, nay? If you do like it, please make sure to like. Please, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Please click the bell so that way you can be notified whenever I do come out with a new video. And otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers!
We can